What's up everyone, this is Gustavo. Welcome to vlog number 16. If you haven't had a chance to visit our new and improved website, please visit the bjjmentalcoach.com. There you'll be able to find the list of the top 10 mental mistakes Jiu-Jitsu competitors make and how to avoid them. And you can also download the audio for free of all the videos. Just subscribe to our newsletter and you have access to it. And today we're going to refresh the mental mistake number 5, which is hyping opponents up. Maybe a situation that you went to a tournament, kind of question yourself like, can I really beat this guy? Maybe you're giving too much respect to your opponent. And if you don't control this internal battle, it can definitely compromise your performance. And that's exactly what you're going to talk about today. How can we avoid making this mental mistake of hyping opponents up? And as you already know, I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. This is only my perception about a topic. I'm pretty sure you have yours. It doesn't mean that mine is right or wrong. So whatever you feel is applicable to you, use it, and whatever you don't, just put to the side. So if you are interested in growing, evolving, not only as an athlete, but as a human being, this video is for you. Have you ever been in a situation in which you're about to compete against someone who had accomplished a lot more than you, or maybe even had a lot more experience than you? How did you handle the internal battles that come along with these under pressure situations? Did you look into a positive route and start getting pumped up and embracing the experience, saying like, yes, I got what I want. I want to compete against the best. I want to test myself and I'm going to do so. And you embrace the experience? Or maybe you look in the negative side, say like, oh man, this guy has won the Europeans, Pans, Brazilian Nationals, and he's my first match at the Worlds, and I don't know if I can beat him. And you gotta be really careful, especially nowadays with social media, the interviews, magazines, highlight videos, and a lot of people can get caught up in the hype and putting people on a pedestal and just giving way too much respect to their opponents. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've done that. In 1996, the first year IBJJF promoted the Worlds, I was a purple belt back then, and I decided, no, I wanted to compete at the Worlds, but back then you need to be qualified to compete. And I took third at the Rio State, which not qualify, meaning you had to be first and second place at the Brazilian Nationals. And they have some other qualifications that I didn't have, but they did have trials the week before to qualify 2 people in each division to compete. So I signed up for that, and I was kind of the mindset like, man, that would be cool to compete at the Worlds. And I ended up winning my side of the bracket, so I got qualified to compete the next weekend. But man, I had no business in winning that tournament. With the mindset that I had, I wasn't really committed and trusted and believing that I could win. I was just happy like I got here and man, that guy won this, that guy won that. And then just giving so much credit to people, just putting people on a pedestal like, oh, I saw that guy in the magazine and this and that. And I wasn't really being fully myself, but I was kind of grinding, doing my thing. Next thing, I'm in a semifinal, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. I'm on the podium, and I'm about to go against a competitor that back then, he was winning everything in that specific weight class. I was a featherweight who decided to move to lightweight. So I knew I was going against a competitor who had accomplished a lot more than me, and I definitely got me a little shy. And I ended up losing by 2-0. And he ended up winning the division. And the thing is that I was kind of like, oh, it's okay, that guy won, this and that. And it's not okay to have that kind of mindset at all. But I did the best I could with the emotional maturity level that I had at that point. And the wild thing is about 6 to 8 months later, I had a chance to train with him at my teacher's academy under Pioneers against this opponent, and we rolled twice, and I was able to catch him twice. And the thing is like, oh, training is not competition. I understand that, but that was a good way of seeing like I was able to be myself more on the mat. And I was like, man, this monster is not as big as I thought it was, but in my head I did, and I put on a pedestal, and that's what happened. And what I want you to do, not to get caught up in hype like that, or of course, do we need to respect opponents? Absolutely. But not to a point that respecting so much and put in a pedestal that you're not even close, because that is not going to help your performance. So how can we avoid making this mental mistake? And comes to a lot of the things that we've said in videos before, and that's part of the content of the BJJ Mental Coach, which is have have more self-awareness. Stop to think about what you're thinking about. When you feel that wave of negative thoughts coming in, you have to stop, and I like to call it karate block, like filter that thought. When you come in, oh man, that guy won this, won that, and I don't know if I can beat him. You have to question this thought after you recognize, saying like, wait, do you have control of his resume? No. So there's nothing that you can do. It makes an irrational thought. So you need to accept that the fact cannot be changed. Only your response to the fact can be changed. The fact that he won the Europeans, Pans, and Brazilian Nationals cannot be changed. It is what it is. Only your response, how we're going to deal with it. Because you can definitely acknowledge this. Yes, my opponent won. It's a fact. The Europeans, the Pans, and Brazilian Nationals. And he's my first match at the Worlds, period. The problem is when you put an opinion after the fact, especially a negative one, when you say like, that guy won this and that, and I don't know if I can meet him. So the best thing is just like, stop. Reevaluate this. You have no control of that. So now that you realize, yeah, that's true, I have no control, you need to make a decision of how's your thought process going to go? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the thought process is going to hold you back and move you away from your goal, or the one that's going to move you towards your goal? And you make a decision to like, no, I need to get my mind set to the positive one. So the best thing you can do is really reframe this thought, from like, I don't know if I can win, to stop. My goal is to perform to the best of my abilities with the tools and knowledge I have right now. Maybe tomorrow we'll have more skills, maybe in 6 months, but right now, this is all you got with all the training you have. So if you say like, did I train hard enough? Dude, you should worry about that like 6 weeks ago. Now you just got to focus on your performance to transfer everything you did in the academy to the competition. And if you can do that, we have better chances of achieving the outcome that you want, because sometimes your best is enough to win. Sometimes it's not. Maybe a day that, man, you had a great performance, but you lost. And some days you're like, oh man, that was a bad performance. That was ugly. But I pull it off. So the most important thing is have that internal peace that like, man, that was me there. There's no excuse. Someone beat me. It was a technical mistake. Whatever that is, let's fix, let's work on and improve. So I hope this information can help you just kind of like, hey, just be more aware, not just the self-awareness of what's going to your head, but the social awareness. What your teammates are saying too. Just watch it. They're going to be trying to like, oh my God, the guy won this. Like, oh, just, check him, make sure that, don't get caught up on a hype. So if you do like the information, please press like, share, tag someone that you know that could benefit from this information. Take a look at the website, thebjjmentalcoach.com. A lot of cool stuff there. As I mentioned, you can download the audio as well for all the videos. And for the YouTube viewers, if you haven't had a chance to look us up on Facebook, make sure you check facebook.com/thebjjmentalcoach, and on YouTube, youtube.com/thebjjmentalcoach. And I see you all soon. Us.